Hello, 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 and welcome back to the continuing adventures of Slimey-Wimey as he rapidly becomes one of the best NaWz I've ever run before. Where last we left off, I had I had given up on the hope of making this a single segment run on account of the fact that I was starting to suffer physically for the attempt. Instead, I broke it into two halves, and now here we are. I guess that's about as lame a recap as I can give, but there you have it. At this crossroad, here's what we're dealing with. I have a really good kit going. For those of you who haven't already seen the last video, I have a rune already, and access to a lot of stuff. Anyway, have a really good kit going here. I want to keep training charms so that haste becomes reliable as well. I would like to eventually get controlled blink, probably as my next big spell, because as a NaWz, that's going to be a lifesaver. Maybe teleport control on the way. I don't know. We'll see. And of course, as the moment I get Firestorm, that's going to be an instant sell. But yeah, overall, I've got my single target generic damage, single target of poison, multi-target fire, multi-target poison. It's pretty solid all around. Yeah. Let's go ahead and drop the Wand of Fire. Not terribly useful to carry around with us. The Ring of Dexterity I'm not going to get around to using, so might as well ditch it. And oh yes, I need to go through the books and figure out which ones I don't want to take. Flight I want to hang on to for a possibility. Dig I want to hang on to. This I don't want at all, so just drop the third book, whatever it was. Capital J can be dropped. The Necronomicon has Necromutation, which someday I may become interested in, but for the time being I am not. I already have all the spells out of this that I want, so that can just go on the pile. I don't want that either. Okay, what else? I don't need Amnesia Scrolls. I don't need Weapon Scrolls. By the way, I should let you know I'm doing something right now that I don't normally do when I play. I'm listening to music at the same time. I doubt it will be distracting, and if it is, you're gonna have to chalk that up to the fact that this is not a serious main channel run. This is just a throwaway that I did for the funsies. Okay, looks like that's about solid for the moment. What are we working our way towards? Dig would be nice. Honestly, we can just learn dig. Right, so there's at least 8-10 spell levels worth of stuff that I want to learn. So we're going to keep spellcasting on. Charms is reasonable, we'll keep that on. Conjuration I just never want to turn off for the sake of growing it. Fire, on the other hand, can go off for a little while. In terms of defense skills, keep trickling into dodge, but turn off fighting for the moment. I have 150 health. That should be enough to be getting around with for a while. Next floor. So yeah, we've got one of the lair runes. We're not going to be going for the slime pit. And for those of you who don't remember the last video or didn't watch it, which is quite possible. What's the best way to... I should have an annotation. Here we go, annotation. Menus plus the Lernaean Hydra. Ninja the rune only if you are ready with C-Telly. Because Lernaean Hydra and Menus are both on the floor. So yeah, I've been locked out pretty hard from finishing the swamp. Although I did make it down to Swamp 5 in order to find those uniques, so when I do go back to do it, it won't take too long. It will be nice to do that with Control Blink under my belt, probably. I definitely have a good kit going here for dealing with most enemies. Swap lanes, blast your ass. I really don't need to be constantly using a poison arrow though, so let's try and remember to use fire instead where possible. I mean, if it's all the same, one of these is hungerless, the other is decidedly not. I don't care about killing all my allies, I just don't want to get slimed in the process. Incidentally, I have a bunch of wands I need to test out, so let's test these. Resist with effort. What is it? Enslavement? Alright. Use another wand now. Come on, you're my worm. You shouldn't be resisting me. Slowing. Alright, what else? That's it? Alright. Ah, fine. Blast you with fire. How are you still my ally when I'm bursting flame on your ass? Alright, ditch all of these wands that I don't care for. Status effect wands are just not that valuable to me. Good, 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 good. Poison arrow is a good idea for him because I need to deal a lot of damage. You're probably immune to fire, so poison arrow will get through your resistance. Kill the jelly. Poison, fire. Sometimes that's all you need, just rack up the damage. But I really do need a corpse soon. Hey, you guys are definitely going to leave corpse. Notice how I said guys before I saw the rest of them, because there's always a freaking herd, man. Always a freaking herd. Seriously, none of them left corpses? That's just bad luck. Come on. One of you is going to leave a fucking corpse. There we go. Nauseated, but alive. Any new jewelry? Oh yeah, the ones I just picked up. Let's try those on. Okay, we're gonna have to ID it. Protection from cold. Pretty useless, but nothing. I should really drop it. Fire, fire. Kill the manticore zombie. Oh wait, I'm cut off because of a teleport trap. Let's be a little bit more mana conscious then. I want to keep this thing inside the fire as long as possible. There we go. You guys aren't worth the worry. Almost certainly a... Nope. Alright, cool. You know, I think I neglected to show off my inventory before the game began, which is just a customary good thing to do if you're running a very, very long run, so that somebody else can see, you know, who's just joining can see it. So here's my inventory. Go ahead and pause it if you care. And this is my stat sheet. You'll notice that I'm wearing like RF++ artifact sword, strength +4 and +3 cloak, strength +3 gloves. I've had a fairly good run in terms of luck finding this stuff. Speaking of luck, let's see what we got here. Generic Dex +3 helmet, but it is in fact a +3 helmet, so greater AC than is necessarily required. I'm tempted, actually, to, once dodging hits 8, train up armor a little bit, because IARC, the Naga Barding has a, it does have an overcomable armor penalty that needs to be overcome to improve my spellcasting as a result. Wow, I can go toe-to-toe with and just outfight you guys with my short sword? That's kind of impressive. The constriction obviously helps, but still. Alright. Poison arrow. Butcher. Where's the beetle? Takedown. Takedown. Torch down. Res. Can't do anything with that. Manticore. Boom. Up! Wow, there's a lot of these things. Good. We just got drained, so please take out the Eye of Draining for me. And I do like that the vines light up to kind of give you a clue where you need to go next. Of course, I'm so slow walking around as a Naga. Let me activate swiftness to offset that. There's a good chance that they'll keep growing back by the time I reach them. How is that charms coming along, by the way? Not very fast. Because the enemies I'm killing are much lower level than the amount of experience I'm used to gaining from having done deep swamp and lair and stuff. I guess. Try to keep that swiftness running fairly often. Drop fires for the inevitable. Yup, there's more of them. Okay, this thing is getting pretty big, so... There we go, much better. Because there's one of you, there's probably more of you, so... Gas plus fire should lock you all out pretty effectively. Unless, of course, you just magically jump over it, like this guy did. Alright, we got dodging up. Let's go ahead and start using armor to offset the armor penalty. With casting. I'm assuming there's an armor penalty. It can't be that bad, but must exist. You're immune to fire? Immune to fire and poison. Well, all that leaves is Orb of Destruction, so... There it is. Knew there was a reason I'd pick that spell up. Oh, you know what? My sword is Holy Wrath. That's why it's so effective to melee these imps now. This was a very stupid move on my part. I guess I'm wearing 1-2 artifacts and... Okay, that's less than it could have been. And I don't know if wearing a cloak that's an artifact helps to protect the underlying armor or not. Spread the poison. Eat the flesh. Corpus edemos. Anyway, all those centaurs should be well engassed now. It's amazing what you can do with poison gas if you are willing to really employ it ruthlessly. I mean, I remember there was a time where I used to think Poisonous Cloud was not that good a spell, because anything that was vulnerable to it was already vulnerable to Mephitic Cloud, so you were better off trying to do like Mephitic Cloud stabs and the kind of thing. Honestly, nope, because while it's true, vulnerable to Mephitic Cloud is there, the poisonous gas can just AoE kill so many things at once. Oh, it looked like the sheep was shooting those for a second. Gas them all, along with anyone else dumb enough to try to join them. Let's go ahead and power up. Stab you. Come on, give me something to butcher. It's a two-headed Hydra. Okay. Here we go. Why would there be a two-headed Hydra? And cheese, and... Oh, this is that thing where you make a feeding machine, because the Hydra keeps growing heads back, so you keep cutting its heads off with fire, or whatever, so that you always are getting more food. And that's why I'm able to go toe-to-toe with these skeletons, because I'm using a Holy Wrath Blade. Nice. Not to mention Constriction obviously helps. Alright, well, good times so far. Another floor cleared. Let's just keep this thing going. Yeah, this started its life as me planning to do a single segment, everything's over run, but now that that ship has sailed, I'm not going to even bother holding myself to that. Normally I wouldn't start playing this late in the evening, but, you know, I'm just going to play as long as I like and then be done with it. Boom! Poison everything. Yeah, I have 4 javelins I don't need. There's no need to pick up more of them. I do like having a melee weapon sort of as a last-ditch thing. Though at this point I already have enough wands to render that a totally moot precaution. Wait, immediately use poison arrow against something like that. So the armor training does not seem to have improved my spell casting in any notable way. I'm still probably going to finish the job, at least for a little bit longer. Not because I think it's going to help my spellcasting, but because I want my armor skill up a little bit, and training a -2 skill up to level 5 at this point is not that big a deal. Definitely want to peg that giant as soon as I can. But since it's not getting the opportunity, we'll just fireball from behind and boom, level up. How are we doing for spell levels? Still not that many. Okay. I really do want to pick up dig. Trees had better be vulnerable to fire. Hey look, it's NaWz. Immediately drop a Mephitic and then start torching him. And we'll just also drop like massive AoE poison clouds. There we go. NaWz is down. Good Centaur barding if I was into that kind of thing. Whoa! Blink, blink, blink repeatedly until you're okay. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay, backing up. I'll just finish going ahead and gassing this place for a little while longer. As long as there's the gas. There we go. You're a bit more experienced, and boom, fireballs. And unlike the typical flimsy caster I play, it's not like 1 or 2. It's going to take more than a couple bolts to bring me to any kind of dangerous health total. I don't remember what these guys do, but I'm pretty sure it's confusion and splitting up, so just torch them. Alright, I think... Oops. You know, I do actually have resist fire ×2, but I don't have conservation, so I would rather not fireball on myself. Unless it's absolutely necessary. Alright. So far so good. My AC has gone from 20-something to 22, so clearly the armor training is not being wasted on me. That looks like the beginning of a... That looks like the beginning of a map with Azrael behind it. I have RF++, but I don't have conservation. I do have a Wand of Cold that could be useful to zap him with. And I have Orb of Destruction, which I would actually use to kill him. So, yeah, I'll at least shoot his underlings. That's one. Nope, I'm actually gonna start losing scrolls pretty badly here. What jewelry have I forgotten? Not really that much. Not any at all. Alright, so new plan. Go to the vaults. Conservation is likely to be even more desired here than it was out there, but whatever. What floor am I on? I am on floor blah 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 16. That's actually a very shallow lair. This may be like the shallowest it's legally permitted to occur on. Read this scroll, this unknown scroll immediately. You know what? That just made me feel like doing something. I don't remember what. So I need to take a look through my inventory and figure out what was just on my mind. I saw a bunch of them, and I was like, what I need to be doing is X. And it didn't occur to me what that X was. You see a bunch of centaurs show up, and you shoot them. I don't remember what I was worried about. Something worried me there for a second. I need to figure it out and take care of it eventually. It'll come to me eventually. Set up a fire and then blast you with more. Before you get into a wall, we'll kill you. Kill all of you guys. Maybe I should just memorize repel missiles, honestly. I'm gonna want it eventually. Circe must be nearby if her pigs are here. There she is. Let's make sure she gets very heftily poisoned. And if she still's after me, we'll just kill her. Nope. I wonder what this book was. Delayed fireball for 2 spell levels is not a big deal, and is in fact cheap, so I will take it. Got it? I did. Put that on my letter L or whatever, out of the way. Maybe it was a defense that I was thinking of taking up? Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I wanted to boost my stealth. It's a +5 ability, and I have it at level, like, what, 3? 4? That's shameful. Let's get it up to, like, 10 for free, practically, at this point, right? And I don't know that the stealth is going to be terribly useful, since all I do is fire, is fire off terribly loud conjuration attacks. But even a little bit of benefit is worth having. And the one time where I'm running away in terror, it'll be nice to have the ability to just duck behind a pillar and know that most enemies will have a harder time locking onto me and chasing me down. Yeah, stealth could be very useful. Also letting me choose the time and place of my engagements despite being slow. That's Nikola. Nikola Tesla requires immediate respect. Do you have a resistance? I have 2 resistance potions, so let's quickly gain resistance to electricity and get to work on killing him. Poison is the first best trick. Poison arrow is an amazing single target damage spell. Let's move away from this giant crowd of clusterfuck that is going to end badly. Sick all of my allies on him. There we go, he blinked for me. Perfect. You know what, while I still can, Orb of Destruction. It totally hit. I don't think he actually even got a shot off. Which is good, because if he had had a shot off, it would have been much more painful. Even with my man, Nikola is nothing to mess around with. You go overboard if you need to. It's also one of the most important times a resistance to electricity will show up earlier in the game. I often will carry a useless except for that resist electricity item specifically until I find and kill Tesla, and then I drop it. Ma. I might be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Yeah, I'm listening to like top 40 pop songs while I'm playing. Oh shit, look what's coming in from behind me. Don't you dare send me to the abyss, you assholes. What are these elves doing outside the elven halls, anyway? Go ahead and amp up the power. I wonder if I can wield a buckler along with all this stuff. Are you wielding a buckler, any of you? You are wearing a buckler, and it's elven. So fuck you, you're gonna die. I can totally wear a buckler with all this get up. We're gonna slow train shields for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, bucklers are far from the best defense there is or anything, but having an extra layer of defense or not having one is a pretty no-brainer choice. Drop a fire zone in front here just to ease the victory in. There's probably a lot of these little things, honestly. These slimes never go in singlets this deep in the dungeon, at least. My mana is pretty much maxed right now. Granted, I'm using the ring, but I'll be able to replace that shortly with something else. Boom, boom. Poison arrow the troll. Torch the three of you guys again. And you just slice and dice the remnants. Read the scroll. I was really hoping that would be acquirement, and it was not. Oh well. I can't be that far from learning what the acquirement scroll looks like, can I? I don't know what I just did, but it obviously was not what I meant to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Very few wands left. Only 4 scrolls un-ID'd as of now, which is none, pretty much none. And all of the potions are either neutral or positive, I guess. Blood, coag, blood, and decay are bad, but blood and coag blood are basically non-issues, and decay can be restored, so... yeah, we're doing fine. Yay, a new amulet! Try it on? Yeah, let's try it on. Worst case, it's faith. Gourmand! I love the Gourmand amulet, and while I don't, strictly speaking, need it, until I find the conservation, it will be a more fun alternative. Especially when you consider that I've been running into issues with becoming nauseated, and this reduces your nausea chance significantly. I just ate like 10 chunks at a time. I don't know if that was late enough that it actually gave me full benefits or not. Ooh, Captain's Cutlass. If I was a different kind of character, that might have been a game changer. As this kind of character, it's not even worth picking up, unfortunately. Of course, that's in no small part because I already have better. Stop, don't attack. Attack this thing. Oh, shit. Let's lose the blink scrolls first. Then we'll lose the recharge scrolls. Then we'll drop the magic mapping. Then we'll drop the teleportation. Then we'll drop fog. Then we'll drop fear. Okay, there we go. We are now no longer on fire. That was pretty painful. This is why I like conservation. I wouldn't have lost all that stuff. It's not like, mind you, the stuff that I lost is game breaking or anything. I don't remember where I read it, but I was reading a discussion on conservation and how it plays to the psychology of losing stuff. And yeah, it's really true. I would almost rather never have found it than have to find it than have it taken from me like that. Alright, next floor, please. Neither of these is the next floor. That's the next floor. Interdimensional bazaar, and I am not too poor to use it. Let's kill all these ogres, please. Ogre Mage needs to die ASAP before something really bad happens. Okay. Mapping. Where's the interdimensional bazaar? There it is. At least I believe that's where it ought to be. Maybe I can find the amulet I want or something cool or lightning scales. Hell, I don't know. What I do know is I have 1200 gold, which is enough to go shopping. Am I in the right direction? Yeah, I'm almost there. Lately, I've been stuck imagining what I wanna do, what I really. Alright, drop the poison. Just, you know. Oh my god, I just walked up into melee with a freaking giant. Let's go ahead and res all of them just to provide good meat shields for whatever I do next. There's the interdimensional caravan slash bazaar. How am I doing for inventory slots? I am capped. So before I go in, drop resist corrosion, drop protection from cold, drop 4 varieties of food, please. Ambrosia has its own unique properties, but cheese does not. Strawberries do not. Chocos I want for small food. Well, I can do chocos or honeycomb, so chocos I don't need. Slowing is a lousy wand. Silence I never use. That's a very reasonable number of pots to drop, of stuff to drop behind. We'll drop a brilliance potion as well, and agility won't be needed while I'm inside. All right, good. In we go. So, what does the Book of Fire offer? Nothing I don't already have. And the Handbook of Creative Necromancy. Nothing worth doing. Burglary has swiftness, which I already have. Young Poisoner's Handbook, again, nothing new. Grand Grimoire could be cool. How expensive is it? It's within my price range. We'll see. Necronomicon I already have. And all this other stuff, quite frankly, I don't really care about, so whatever. Like, I'm just looking for the Book of Annihilations. Manual of Dodging is amazing, but unfortunately it's too expensive. Shape-shifting Venom. What does the Book of Power have that I don't have? Nothing. I have everything I want out of it. Okay, good. Book of Changes. Pardon me. Nothing of note. Only thing here is Party Tricks for 850. I could get butterflies, but it's not worth it, obviously. Slimy Plate Armor. It's plate, which is going to be a real pain in the neck to wear, and I have Archmagi already, so no thank you. That's the whole bazaar. I'm just gonna go ahead and walk away. I don't need any of this, so we're just gonna leave it be. As much as I want Firestorm, I'm in no real rush, and as a worshipper of Sif, I may eventually get it. We're gonna turn off charms shortly. Hey, wouldn't you know it? People have come here to die. It's like they knew that I was busy, and they're like, oh, hang on a second. He'll be done any minute now, and then we'll die. Waiting for it. Well, they're all dead for their problems. And which of these items do I want to take with me again? Agility gives me options. Resist corrosion gives me options. And a stack of cheese because it's or chocos because they're chocos. Everything else you all can keep. I don't need it. Oh man, I should really just go to bed. Oh come on. Channel mana back thanks to Sif. Channel a bunch of mana back before eating my way back up to full. New wand that needs to be ID'd soon. Easily resists. Polymorph other. Once Charms hits 9, I'm dropping it. I don't care if haste isn't maxed yet. We'll let spellcasting take care of the rest. Ooh, a new amulet. ID it, please. Clarity. Clarity is very useful under certain circumstances, but for the most part right now I don't need it. I have a giant stack of cure potions that can serve the function. Oh, what could that be? Gain strength. Not bad. There are very few potions that can be negative for me at this stage of the game. For those of you who play the new version of Crawl, but for some reason don't already know this, potions of gain, stat, whatever, have been replaced in newer versions by a much more interesting potion of gain beneficial mutation that just gives you a mutation. Ah, god damn it, not again. Drop the blink scrolls. Drop the magic mapping scrolls. I'm not covered in liquid flames. Okay. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go back out of this place. Go back to the dungeon and drop a whole bunch of scrolls. So drops 4 blink scrolls, all magic mapping scrolls. I can come back for those if I need to. 3 remove curse scrolls. Fear ID. Drop the fog, I guess. No, keep the rest. That's fine. And go ahead and remove curse right now. What am I wearing? Magic power, sustenance, wizardry. This is all good stuff, really. Next floor. Even more good stuff. New book. Beyond my understanding, I doubt that very much. Still, it's either the Grand Grimoire. I mean, it can't be a conjuration book if it's beyond my understanding, so it can't be Annihilations. Therefore, it's either Grand Grimoire or Necronomicon, neither of which I want or need, so I won't identify it. Ugh, come on. Boom, fire. Boom, fire. Boom, kills. Okay, next floor. AHMAD. Poison, poison gas, fireball, just take out the cripples. If I sound bored, it's not because I'm bored, it's because I've hit autopilot mode, where my spells are now powerful enough to actually do their freaking job, without me needing to be terribly creative, which unfortunately prevents me from being terribly creative. Alright, good. Drop charms. And put up some fires for these guys to walk into. Meanwhile, boom, fireballs. You know, if you hadn't been so bold as to walk into a fire, Mr. Skeleton, you would still be alive. A lot of fire. I should have no compunction using Sifmuna to raise my mana up. Not while I'm wearing this Gormon's amulet, at least. We're gonna go ahead and do one of these. Blink. After that, if they actually get through that gauntlet of poison, well, massive respect. Clearly they will not be able to, not with me standing there and making sure they don't make it out alive. I don't need any of the equipment that you guys have dropped, so I'm just going to go ahead and res your bodies. Attack Bietin first. Then take a step back? No. Drop a zone of fire, I guess. Fireball. Back off. Yeah, another fireball, please. And that should be the end of it. Oh, I'm low on mana. So start channeling back mana before, before I have to use it. Seriously, this guy is not going down despite the fact that I have my holy weapon. Yeah, and I have pretty much arbitrarily large quantities of food since I can eat not rotting, but brown meat with a fair degree of not getting... Whoa, what did I lose? What did I lose? I lost restore abilities and lost almost all my health in one shot. Damn. I may be resistant to fire, but I am not resistant to cold. So we're going to just back off. And then we are going to quickly torch that thing to death. And then make use of the distance I've built. I want to poison the things that are poisonable in my retreat. Like, for example, that lets me do this. Okay, now that I have enough mana and a clear shot or 3, we're gonna Orb of Destruction this thing to death. Took a lot of firing, but I did it. Stealth is now up to 10, which is great. So, spellcasting conjurations is basically the pair we're running here. And as long as spellcasting keeps going up, I'll get more spell levels, and then eventually I'll learn Dig, which is one of the best utility spells this game has to offer. Not really my favorite. Not my favorite anymore, but practically speaking, it's amazing. Maybe it is my... Oh, shit! Quickly just take it down. What was that? That was painful. Oh, that was Hellfire. Damn, they're bringing out the big guns pretty early on. I'm surprised just how much damage I'm taking here. Let's go ahead and ditch all these not official chunks. Let's power drain the Wand of Polymorph all the way to 0. Okay, good, it's out. We'll do the same with the other Polymorph. Because, you know, I refuse to let Polymorph be used against me. Bad mutations are just not fun. Okay, come on, hurry up already. Out of charges? Great. Now that they're burnt out, we can drop both of these. And just for shits and giggles, we'll also drop... Nope, I'm good with all the rest of this stuff, I guess. For the moment, at least. Swiftness is up. That looks like some kind of vampire, and that's an Iron Dragon, so... The only thing Iron Dragons will understand is pure overwhelming damage, and that is what he will receive. The Vampire Mage I will blast away with weaponry. There we go. Channel back my mana, eat, and into the fray we go. That's how I'm abusing my, we're not abusing, but that's how I'm using my Amulet of the Gourmand. Treating it like I have the right to infinitely channel mana. And, for my troubles, I unearthed this vault, including one of my favorite rings in the whole game, the Ring of Vitality. A new unID'd helmet, which turns out to be a Helmet of Intelligence. Definitely better than a Helmet of Dex +3. Though +3 helmets are gonna... I mean, I lose a fair amount of AC by, you know, going with this route. But holy crap, I have practically Hungerless level 6 spells, thanks to this. I have 38 intelligence. This is just phenomenal. We're going to continue doing exactly what we're doing in terms of training. And what I'm going to add onto my training regimen, I just want to burn this thing before it actually starts to make good on its abilities. Shadow dragons have a way of making you be lower level than when you started. It's very irritating. What are you? I don't even recognize you. A vampire knight in plate. Well, I definitely want swiftness at the very least before I start fighting you. And then I will torch you. No, just poke you to death with poison arrows is fine. Clearly what's following me into this hallway is going to be vulnerable to poison, so let them all follow me. Whatever that is, it looks nice. I'm actually seriously considering Ring of Regeneration right now. Well, actually, in place of Sustenance, it's a freaking no-brainer. So yeah, totally. More health, more regen. Regen, of course, being the key of those two traits. It's not super important necessarily, but it's just fun. And bonus HP is always a wonderful defense. Raise the Shadow Dragon as my ally. Alright, very good. And, oh, crap. Take that bull by the horns. Raise a stone giant so that no more bulls think to use their horns. An elite wizard robe. No kidding. I'll have to figure out what that is. My pack is full, so let's drop the awesome helmet, because I have the awesomer helmet, and start doing some identifying. Optimality is just not that great a weapon for me, unfortunately. And the new book includes Summon Dragon, which is a really, really good spell. At any rate, we can now drop the Book of Dreams, since this contains both Summon Dragon and Flight. Go ahead and drop that Staff of Cold. I just want to know what it was for next time. What's next? I'm tempted to use my Enchant Armor Scroll on, say... I mean, I'm not going to swap out this Shy of an Artifact, or this, pretty much for anything, so bucking up their AC with Enchant Armor makes sense at this stage of the game. Yeah, and before you know, I lose the ability to because of fire. Let's go ahead and do that. Enchant Armor. Robe of the Archmagi, I suppose, is the most obvious. Actually, the one to do it for would be the Nagabarding. No, I might end up replacing the Nagabarding. I wouldn't replace the Archmagi's robe for anything short of a really good artifact. So it's the safest bet. But, you know, I like stacking a lot of scrolls onto something that goes high, if possible, because that reduces the odds of it being corroded off. It's an absolute fact that up until I believe +5, every plus you have on a piece of equipment reduces the likelihood of it being successfully corroded by a slime or acid attack or whatever. So, oh, that's another one. This one we'll put on the Nagabarding, because I don't anticipate finding new Nagabarding for a very long time. Also for the reasons I mentioned before, that Nagabarding stacks higher than some of these other pieces do, so it can be made more resistant to corrosion than some of the other ones can. Alright, done exploring. Off to Vaults 5, but not before we torture this thing to death. Swiftness and Bail seems to be the smartest option right now. Well, literally everything I tried to do there failed, so let's just get out of here before the dragon takes advantage of my total lack of mana. Running low on nom-noms. A couple poison arrows should weaken him to the point of near death. I shouldn't have fireballed him, but that just kind of came out of instinct. I hate to think of just how powerful this spell must be. No, leave everything, just take some food and get out of here. Notice that I am channeling up mana while standing on the stairs, because I know that I have the food in my pocket to replace the hunger. But holding this position over the stairs is going to be significantly harder to do if anything else goes wrong. Okay, what next? Look out my poison, knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock. Oh, it's Sant Roca. That changes things significantly. Initiate mass poisoning and self-hasting. So swiftness plus haste means I should be able to escape him just fine. And now that everything is significantly poisoned in that circle, we'll just get way the heck out of that circle. Maybe pump up my mana to full. Okay, now we're just going to get out of here. It is unfortunate to have to admit it, but I'm being bested by Sant Roca. There's nothing shameful about admitting. Actually, I think I might have him here. If he turns that corner, he's down. What did he leave behind? Nothing terribly useful to me, so just go ahead and do the requisite amount of mana channeling to get him up again, only to shoot him down again. Alright. Eat to your heart's content. Shields are up to 10. AC is back to 22. Evade is up to 10. We are going to turn on a new skill. Short Blades is a tempting option, though not a good one. Stealth is good, but we've already trained a fair amount of that. Invocations. I want it to be even easier for me to channel mana back from Sif Muna. This is definitely doing one of those, I'm not training it all the way or anything, just taking advantage of an opportunity to train it up a little bit. Honestly, the odds of that sling being anything better than what I'm already wielding is practically non-existent. Am I wearing full armor, though? Good, I am. What, am I wearing the cloak? Yes, I am. Okay, good. Boris represents a problem. We're going to use Orbs of Destruction on him. Meanwhile, he uses very dangerous crystal spear attacks on me. Lucky for me, that one missed. Otherwise, I would have been in a lot worse shape right now. That could hurt like the odds of Dickens. Intelligence, please. It does in fact hurt like the odds of Dickens. But we killed Boris. And as we all know, liches totally cannot regenerate. Wait, what? Okay, that's not my ally, that's an enemy, so it's an Etten as well, which is a significant enemy. We're in trouble. We should actually start looking for ways to extricate ourselves from the situation. Oh, right, I have Regenerate on my ring now. Regenerate on my ring means I don't have to suffer even half as much in order to recover by waiting. Already checked that store out, already killed Boris, who of course never leaves anything other than his shirt, which somehow he finds another one of over and over and over again. Probably his robe is his phylactery or something ridiculous like that. Fire off an orb just to take out the holy. Poison times 2. Set up everything to die. Just drop the silence, please. Alright, don't know what this halberd contains, don't really care, but we'll ID it anyway on the off chance it's useful. It's not. Resist electricity would be the only cool thing it has going for it. Its plus 11 to hit is pretty unimpressive compared to its plus 0 to damage. which, as we all know, for an artifact is permanent. Bolts of penetration are terrifying, so I definitely want these things killed ASAP. Okay, so far so good. I'll just eat it all, please, and then after you're done eating it, drain the unnecessary wands that you have insisted on picking up. V, C, boom. Okay, there we go. It is fully drained now. So we can ditch it and keep going. Ignore the meat, for God's sakes. You've got more food than you ever will know what to do with. Oh man, the sheer amount of devastation I'm wreaking is painful. Why couldn't I do this stuff during my week on neurosurgery? Not the destruction, just being this useful. Okay. Torching everything here. Pardon me. Alright, if you're gonna switch to fire weaponry, I'm gonna switch to poison weaponry, and we'll see which of us is the better archer. Poison arrows or actual arrows. And it's funny because by the time I finished my speech, you were already dead. Alright. Poisonous cloud. Check. Fireballs to weaken the things inside the poisonous cloud. Double check. Repeats until everything is dead. Well, everything's dead now, so check. Alright, so far so good. I do love that enemies now tend to be, at least have a fairly decent chance of being asleep when I approach them, thanks to my level 10 stealth skill. It makes it a little bit easier to avoid fights you really don't want to participate in, at least at the moment. Alright, I'm actually getting physically dizzy, so I'm gonna have to call it the quits here, unfortunately. The good news is we made it just about to, whatchamacallit. We made it just about to the bottom of this area, whatever it's called. We're gonna go ahead and ditch the Ring of Sustenance. I'm never gonna value it enough to wear it again. +6 Ring of Intelligence, no kidding, huh? Alright, let's see about replacing magical power. 43 out of 49 to 40 out of 40, which is very respectable. I'm not gonna wear that now, I'm not gonna wear it later. Level 6 spells are hungerless, level 7 spells are cheap. 45 intelligence. Jesus Christ, if I lose this game, it's going to be entirely my fault. New ring, sustainabilities, new book is nothing I care about, so drop it. Poison bolts. Come on, people, show up already. Of course, my skeletons are the ones that are diving in front of the fire. What morons. That was a Titan? Damn, no wonder it was so hard to kill. Let's go ahead and gain all my mana back before anything turns that corner. Jesus Christ, just going around the corner, apparently my stealth is good enough that confused them so hard they couldn't find me. I mean, I knew that it was involved in the formula. I didn't realize that it was actually this effective. They've done a number on the stealth formula, it would seem, between older versions like version 0.9 and 10 and this version. Kill the ogre mage, priority number 1. Kill everything else, priority number 2. You do not want to get abyssed. Alright, heal up. Butcher me some friggin' orcs and elves, and get back up to full, and just continue slaughtering them. Alright, we're gonna leave invocations at 4 for the time being, just because I don't have the patience to advance it that much more. Okay, come at me, guys. You're dead now. Alright, it looks like all that's left is a couple more floors and then we're there. But unfortunately, I'm literally nodding off as we speak, so I'm gonna have to sign off as well. So, hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching so much. So far, Slimey-Wimey is doing great, and I will see you guys next time.